Good morning, everyone. This is Beth Ricklefs with Insurance Agency Marketing Services. I'm a life insurance sales director here at IAMS, and I am so excited today to have Joanna with us from Americo. I love this product. I love everything about Americo, from their staff, which is great. Very Midwest company. Old school life insurance values. It's all around just a great company. So I will do the normal intro for our IAMS. I know that I've got some newbies here registered on the phone, and I've got some veteran agents with us too. It's going to be an exciting topic for everybody, but I do want to let the people that haven't done business with us or are new to IAMS to tell you what we're all about, and maybe give you some refresher information too if you're familiar with IAMS. If you are a new producer with IAMS, we want to get you started with production with us as quickly as possible so that you can see everything that IAMS does to get business, from pre-sale to submission, all the way through the underwriting process, and then getting paid. So on annuity business, if you hit the level $100,000 in the first 6 months, all the way up to $1 million of annuity production, you can see that there's different prizes that you can win. You can cash out at any time. So if you get to the $100,000 level in the first 6 months and you want to go ahead and take that prize, just let any of your sales directors know, and we will get that done for you. If you want to wait and accumulate to higher levels, we certainly can do that too. With life insurance, what that means is $10,000 on that first level of target, and then the $1 million level for the annuities would equate to $100,000 of target premium with life insurance, or you can a combination of both. So we'd add them together. That business that you write with us in the first 6 months. We also get referrals from our agents because of our back office support and everything that you get with IAMS, and our business is like yours. A referral, if you like somebody and you refer them to us, that is all around a great thing. Just like writing business, if a client refers somebody, that is the best thing that you can get. So we want to thank you with a bonus for referring an agent, and as soon as they're contracted, we would give you the $50 bonus. In addition to that, you're going to make money off of them on an ongoing basis for every, for target premium, it's going to be 0.15% that you get in a commission. Single premium life is 0.07. Your index annuity is 0.20. That is not a haircut off the top street commissions that the referral will get. It doesn't affect your commissions. It's out of IAMS' pocket, just to thank you for your continued support. Marketing is a huge element to anyone that's an independent advisor, and we want to be a partner with you on that. So we have a marketing reimbursement program, and for every $100,000 of single premium life, that's $200 in your marketing reimbursement. Life insurance, $10,000 of target is going to earn you $200, and every $100,000 of index annuity premium will earn you $100 of marketing dollars. We have a wonderful creative team that has tons of options in marketing, whether it's business cards, designing a website, advertisement. There's different marketing programs, from seminars to just anything you can think of, depending on what type of business that you're wanting to target, that those marketing dollars can be used for. We provide everything as far as back office support. You have 100% access to our website. If you haven't registered before, go to IAMSinc.com. If you just type in IAMS, you might see the dog food website. So it's IAMS, IAMSinc.com. That's going to give you access on the life insurance side to quote engines, finding forms, finding underwriting information. We offer all the case design that you could need on the annuity side as well as the life insurance side by talking to our life and annuity marketers to design the case from pre-screening and which carrier would be the best and the best way to design the case, whether it's finding the right product. Our life directors and our annuity directors can help you with anything that you need case design wise. Forms at your fingertips off our website. We support you from, it says submission to commission, but it's way more than that because we support you on the pre-sale and coaching on how you present that sale to getting it submitted, following it all the way through the new business cycle. Our case managers do a wonderful job and have a very high placement ratio because of the hand holding that we do during the process of going through underwriting, and then making sure that you're getting paid in a timely fashion quickly. And then and beyond that is, especially with life insurance, there can be a lot of service work, maybe changing beneficiaries or owners or changing a death benefit option. We can help you with everything on the back end too. I mentioned the life and annuity quotes that you can do on the website. You're talking to very experienced marketers on both the life and the annuity side with expertise and coaching, and paperless contracting, which is a huge way, especially with all the a lot of the states being just in time. There are a lot of carriers that we can do the contracting and the application the same day to make that a quick process also. Like I mentioned, there's IAMSinc.com. Make sure you register for that. You're going to get the life tool, which has term and GUL quotes. It also has a final expense quote. We're going to talk later today with Joanna again with our final expense product that is on the final expense quoting engine. The sales resource library is huge. I find something new in there every day that you can read on how to buy sales work, how do I market to charitable for charitable giving, calculators, all sorts of stuff there. We mentioned the term quoter. You can have forms at your fingertips on our website, industry links. There's going to be annuity grids, long-term care product grids as well. We are in a world where eApp solutions has really taken off, especially after COVID. And I should mention that Americo is actually one of the leaders in the industry in getting those types of processes done for us. Not for us personally, but just the industry in general, which makes submitting business a lot easier, a lot less mistakes. Underwriting goes a lot faster if you're doing e-applications, etc. On the annuity side, we are using Luma, and Luma does a lot of things. Application submission is one of them, but there's also ways to compare rate and also manage business that has been paid by using the Luma platform. Firelight was what we used before we had Luma. We have them still because there's a few life insurance carriers that are on Firelight. The majority of our e-application process is through iPipeline, and we do have an iGo eApp solution icon under products, and then life insurance. You'll see the iGo eApp solutions icon there that you can do the e-application process. And for Medicare, we use Sunfire. The few companies that are on Firelight, National Western is probably the most used. F&G and Allianz are on there too. Like I said, most of them are through iPipeline, and there's a few carriers that we have to go to their website. And I know Joanna is going to talk to you about the easiest way that we can do that with Americo. I mentioned the creative services. We have, everything from branding on the agent solution side, digital solutions, and also turnkey solutions as far as brochures, handouts, different marketing programs that are completely designed for you to jump right in and use the tools for that. The one really awesome thing that we provide, and it's a free service with our creative marketing services, is a complimentary marketing analysis. If you're new to IAMS, or if you have been with us for a while and haven't done this, or maybe you need an update, I would definitely suggest talking to either your annuity marketer or your life insurance marketer. They will ask you the questions about what's important to your business, where do you see it going, all these things, and then they analyze things like your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your website, where you're spending money now, and come up with different solutions that are going to help you get to your bottom line goal. So if you haven't done that before, or you want to, please do reach out to us for that, because that's a great way to get some clarity about where your marketing efforts are going. IAMS Wealth Management just rounds out the whole package for IAMS as far as what we offer. Of course, we have life, long-term care, disability. We've got the Medicare cover, the annuities, all of that. A lot of agents are deciding to get into wealth management, which is a great way to get a steady revenue stream into your business. Selling life insurance, sometimes we can have peaks and valleys on that depending on how long the underwriting process. We're talking with Americo today to help fix and level some of that out by adding in products like Americo offers. But IAMS Wealth Management is a great way to do that. It retains clients, and it also just strengthens your relationship. Anything that you can add on, if you're primarily just an annuity person, it's always a good idea to make sure you're offering other products. Your retention rate with that client significantly goes up when you can add another line of service, even if that isn't your main expertise or focus. So IAMS Wealth Management is a way to do that. If you're new, never done anything like that, we can handhold you on that. There's ways to get into this part of the business that is not terribly hard. And if you are already managing wealth, I know that if you talk with IAMS Wealth Management, you're going to be super impressed. That team there has got it going on. It's great stuff. Life and Annuity Academies, we run 3 or 4 of those a year. We're kind of wrapping up for this year. We have one at the end of September. There might be a few spots left for that. If you're interested, I would reach out to one of your directors on that. And then be watching out for 2025 dates that we have. But that's a great way to rub elbows with other agents across the nation that we invite in. I know as an independent advisor, you can feel all on your own sometimes. IAMS tries to help with that by having a friendly staff to work with and a quick call pickup and all of those things, but there's nothing like talking to other producers and see what's working for them in the business to help create different opportunities for yourself, in addition to talking with top leaders in the industry and companies to talk about advanced sales and all of that when it comes to products and for annuities and life insurance. We run a trip I would say every year, but we actually have an 18th qualifying period, which is really cool. Every other place that I've ever known, it's a 12-month qualification period. This is, we always have something really fantastic, and I think different than other IMOs or even carriers offer with the places we pick. So Quebec City is it. Next year, August 3rd through the 8th, you've got plenty of time to write sales from, I guess now if we start business today, that's a 12-month qualifying period. And so I would definitely talk with your directors and see what we can do to get you on that trip. We would love to have you there. Stay in connection with us, please look at our Facebook and our LinkedIn. And with that, I am going to introduce Joanna. Again, very, very excited about this topic. They have one of the leading cap rates in the industry. They have instant decision. This is especially important in the fourth quarter when underwriting processes can slow down maybe with other carriers and you're trying to get to the end of December and getting paid business. I fully believe that this is something that you should incorporate in your business strategy. So with that, I will turn it over to Joanna.
Well, thank you, and good morning, everybody. I'm going to share my screen here. So this morning, we'll do final expense this afternoon, but this morning we're going to talk about our Instant Decision IUL. We love this product. IUL, we had it a while back, and it wasn't as popular, so we took it away, and then IUL really piqued a lot of interest with a lot of clients again. And we saw a need for an instant decision, and we were able to really get that up and out and running, very, very quickly. Like you mentioned earlier, we have been around over 100 years. This is actually our building. I am sitting in the penthouse up on the very top floor right now, staring out the window. We are family owned. The Merriman family lives here in Kansas City. We're one of the largest privately held insurance companies in the country. And we are the first carrier to come out with instant decision. We kind of do instant everything, which is wonderful. You can potentially submit a policy today and get paid for it tomorrow even. We pay out quickly. If you guys participate in the You First bonus, this is something that we do twice a year. It runs through November 30th currently. Once you earn 50,000 You First credits, you are entered in to potentially receive an uncapped cash bonus of at least 5,000. We do have some qualifying metrics though that you have to meet. You have to have a 6-month persistency of 82% or better, 12 months of 70% or better, and a premium applied ratio of 70% or better. So that's always a nice thing that we do as well. So with IULs, what's so great about it? What's the big idea, if those of you don't know? This can be permanent protection. The way I sort of phrase it when I'm talking with a client is it's the concept of a term, but if you continue to make your premium payments and you don't make too many withdrawals, then the policy can be a whole life policy. So it's sort of like a term that grows a cash value. It can replace some income. It has some living benefits. And again, this is another instant decision product. So when I say that, what I mean is there's no medical exams. There's no blood work or saliva, but they do have medical questions. And we really are proud of our process. When you get into our agent tools site and you go and you run a quote. You get your illustration, which you could email to the client if they want to look over it and think about it. And then even if they don't, you want to close the deal right away. As brokers, that's always the goal. But you go straight into the application, okay? As soon as you get into the application, we are running an identification verification. And this is really important for you guys because I'm an ex-broker, so I know how frustrating it is when, like, maybe the client accidentally transpires two numbers in their social security number. We've all had that. Or you don't hear them right, and maybe you put a wrong birth date year. And then it's frustrating because then you're getting emails that are like, please verify the date of birth, or please send in a picture of their social security card. Hey, clients don't want to do that. And as brokers, we've moved on. Let's keep going. And so that right off the bat, we're running identification verification. And it is checking like name, social, address, date of birth. And it won't let you get into the application without verifying that. And you'll be told if something is incorrect, it'll say that they can't verify the identity. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, it's either the social or the date of birth. So if you ever get that in an application, just repeat everything back to the client and make sure that you entered everything in correctly. Then you move in to the application and it's health questions. Our IUL underwriting requirements are the same as our term product. So it is a little more strict than a final expense. Final expense is a little more lenient, but with IUL and term, it's because you're talking about the potential hundreds of thousands of dollars. And you go in, we have a signature process, which I'll touch base on here in a little bit. Super fast, super easy. I mean, you can pick either a text or an email. They get a 6-digit code, they give it to you, and that's in place of their signature. You move on. You get through the health questions, you get an underwriting decision at the end of it if they're going to be approved or not, and you submit the policy, and you're done. I mean, it's that easy. It's so fast. And again, instant decision IUL. So it's permanent coverage. Like I said, as long as the cash value is sufficient to cover the cost of insurance and expense charges. So as long as they continue to make their premium payment and they don't take too many withdrawals or loans against the policy, they will have this. It'll be a whole life. They'll have it forever. Now, we can issue new policies on an instant decision from 18 to 75, which is also a little different because like our terms are start at age 20. So this is an instant decision product that we're able to offer to even a younger group. It's a minimum face amount of $50,000 and maximum of $450,000. Again, no medical exams. They do ask health questions, and I will tell you in the beginning of the application even, we do initial underwriting. And if you guys haven't written us, then what that is we run the Milliman report, which is their medical history and consumer reporting, and that goes back, that's their prescription and consumer reporting, and it goes back 7 years, okay? That's the Milliman report, so prescription, 7 years. We also are running their MIB. MIB is their actual medical history. It is doctor's visits, doctor's notes, diagnoses, referrals to specialists, and that goes back forever. So those are running right off the bat as well, and you will get stopped in the application if they're going to get declined. So it's amazing because I know I've spent an hour before, depending on the client, just getting through the application itself. Now, they're not designed to take that long, and sometimes you can really control your sale and get through it a lot faster. But sometimes you have those clients, you're building a rapport and you genuinely enjoy and you're chatting and you're carrying on, and it just takes a little longer, and that's okay. But the last thing I want to do is spend an hour with a client just to get declined. Especially because we all know as brokers, you've sat there and you really sold this product and you believe in it and it's the best product, and then they get declined and you're like, oh, well, let me switch over to this one. This one's great too. So, it prevents you from putting yourself in that position. Now you can do loans and withdrawals are available from the cash value, and there are some living benefit riders that are just built into the policy at no additional cost. So we're not charging an extra dollar or two per those living benefits. Those break down to critical, chronic, and terminal illness. I'm sure most of you are familiar with what those are, but just to kind of touch base, your critical illness is when a qualifying event happens. So these are like your major medical events. So a stroke, a heart attack, you get a cancer diagnosis, things like that. Chronic illness is when a person is unable to perform at least 2 activities of daily living due to loss of functional capacity, or they require supervision to protect him or herself due to severe cognitive impairment. Then your terminal illness, I'm sure you're all familiar. It's, if a doctor gives you a terminal diagnosis and they expect 12 months or less before you pass away, that's that terminal illness. And these are determined, you guys, by the doctor, and then they send in that medical report, and we can process that that claim. Now, the best way to explain how an IUL works, if you're unfamiliar, the way I talk about it with my clients, or even with agents when you're new to IUL, is think of it as a bucket. You have a money bucket, right? So you've got money going in and money coming out. So money going in is the premium payments from the owner and the credited interest from the insurer. So that interest is coming from the S&P 500, and depending on how the market does, is going to determine their interest. Now, I will tell you, one of the great things that we do is if the market crashes and it's not growing, then there's less risk for our clients. So we will not reduce their cash value. It just won't make any money. But when the market does well, they're making money. So it's less of a gamble because we're not reducing anything at any point. When money comes out, it is like if the client takes a policy loan or a withdrawal, and then the cash value, like the money that goes in, does get reduced a little bit just by like the cost of insurance and administrative charges. As you know, all of us, every single day that we live, our risk increases. So cost of insurance does, it's there. It increases over time. So as an example, if we took a 40-year-old male who was a non-smoker, wanted a $250,000 policy, his monthly premium would be $157.71. When you do the illustration, when you do the application, it will say this is guaranteed not to lapse before you're 31. So what that means is as long as they pay their premiums, and again, they're not taking too much cash value out, their policy is guaranteed to stay in place with their full death benefit for 31 years. So we have 2 different index interest accounts. So you have your point-to-point with cap, and then you have your point-to-point with participation rate. That has no cap, and that's actually the default option in the application because you have option A and option B. And what's really, it's funny because a lot of times people are like, oh, which one's better? In all reality, what we have seen is that both of them ultimately kind of end up with the same amount of cash value by the end of the 31 years. But the way it breaks down, to sort of explain to those of you who aren't familiar with an IUL, let's say they did the participation rate. Like I said, that's the default option. And they make their premiums, and let's say the S&P 500, and this is just for the sake of this conversation, you guys, The S&P 500 goes up 50%. Well, they're going to get 86% of that 56%. Or 50%, sorry guys. So they really have the ability to make quite a bit. But if, let's say the S&P went down 10%, they're going to make, we're not going to reduce anything, but they're not going to make anything. So there's no gamble. This is what the illustration looks like. And this is kind of what I was saying. Like, you're going to see that it says the insurance coverage will cease at age 71 or 77. Again, that is simply stating as long as the market doesn't crash for the next 31 years straight, which has never happened, and they leave enough cash value in the policy to cover the cost of insurance, it's not going to lapse. Now, they can, let's say the market crashed, right? And it crashed for 31 straight years. Then that means based on their option that they chose, they're going to have the policy till 71 or 77. But the reality is we've never seen the S&P crash for 31 consecutive years. So that's not a problem. Don't let your clients be alarmed when they see that. This is the signed illustration that when you do the application, you're getting a text signature, okay? So this is in place of a wet signature, and it is all integrated into the application process for us, so it is still compliant, okay? They don't have to get a policy packet, wet, sign it, and send it back. We have it set up to be compliant. That text signature does cover the signature. Now, benefits of your cash value growth is, of course, loans. They can be taken from the cash surrender value and can be repaid while the policy is in force. Otherwise, they just get taken from the death benefit when the insured passes away, and then the remainder would go to the beneficiary. They can do withdrawals. This is how some people actually kind of replace some income eventually, is they'll do like a monthly withdrawal or an annual withdrawal, and that can be taken, and then those are not repaid. So then you also, at some point with an IUL, so the rule is your cash value cannot actually supersede the face amount, the coverage amount, the death benefit. So because it continues to grow, eventually it could grow to be equal or more than the face amount. So that's where you could choose to eliminate your premium payments, and that cash value could pay your premium, and you'd have the policy and not be making payments on it anymore. Or it could, it could reduce it or eliminate it. Sorry, that's how I should say it. So that's a really nice option as well. Now, you guys might want to write these down. So our agent tools that I've referred to, if you go to tools.americoagent.com, that is the actual tool site where you can run your illustrations, your quotes, and go straight into the application. But we have a demo site as well, and that demo site is wonderful. Now, I want to warn you, when you are doing an application with us, do not ever put your own phone number or your own email in. Like if you have a client and they're like, I can't open, I don't see the code, I've got the text and I don't see the 6-digit code. Do not put your own phone number in there. I am warning you, that is not compliant. Compliance will catch it and it will be a big problem for you. If you are in agent tools, like the demo, you can, so that you could like practice and familiarize yourself with the application, go ahead and put your own phone number in there, because that's a practice. And that's not actually running MIB or Milliman. It acts like it is so that it simulates the experience of the application, but you're not actually submitting anything. If you look in the background, you can kind of see this red banner under where it says Americo on that computer screen. That's how you know you're in the demo site. If you see that red banner, and just to really point out, that information in the demo site does not transfer over to the actual application. So if you don't realize that you're in the demo site and you submit an application, you will have to rewrite it into agent tools because that information does not transfer over. It is the easiest process. It is so just sort of like blatantly in your face, steps 1, 2, 3. It's so simple. Just read the application exactly how it's written. You'll be compliant that way. And the questions are basically knockout questions for the most part. Like if they answer yes, if they answer yes to the questions, then that's when you're looking at potentially getting declined. But, and I'm not saying it's a end all be all. Like it does ask about diabetes. If they have type 2 diabetes, if it's under control and they weren't diagnosed under the age of 30 and they haven't been diagnosed in the last 6 months, there's just additional questions that you answer. Now, I will say I've never seen like, if they have diabetes in addition to some additional problems, like I've never seen diabetes and hypertension get through if they have both. But just having diabetes is not going to be a decline, you guys. You can submit everything directly to Americo. Our site runs from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. based on the time zone that your client is in. So you have access to this when we know you guys, like that agent hustle, that agent life, you're working when the client can make the appointment. So it's available to you all the time. Again, text and email signature options. And you use the same username and password for the agent portal that you use for agent tools so that you're not having to remember even more passwords. I know when I was a broker, I had an Excel spreadsheet on my desktop of all my passwords and all of my writing IDs with all of the providers that I worked with because there were just too many. We have a IUL microsite that is for you guys too. If you want to get in there and kind of fumble around in there, there's so much information. It's americoiul.com. There are more training videos. There's sales tools like reference flyers, and there's client brochures and all kinds of marketing materials, all kinds of stuff. You can get into really specific product information, and you don't have to have a agent ID with us yet to get into the microsite or to Agent Cafe. Agent Cafe is phenomenal. That is where you can actually get onto Agent Cafe, and again, you don't have to have a user ID. You can see all of our products and start kind of weeding through all of those and taking a look at that. Again, even through Agent Cafe, you can get to Agent Tools if you are already contracted with us to start writing policies. You can even order marketing materials from there and we'll send them out to you. I mean, there's just a ton of information. And that's agentcafe.com. And then if you guys are already contracted with us, we have an incredible agent services team. So there's about 35 people down there right now. There is an 800 number that you can call if you're needing help like right away. And that team, I mean, we have I used to be on agent services before I came up to the executive floor, and it is, I mean, there's some people that are in licensing. There's some that are in commissions. There's some that are sales support. So if you're having trouble with the agent portal, they can help you with that. They're an excellent team. I will say agent.services@americo.com is a fantastic option as well. If you're not needing like an immediate answer, they can check your policy status, check your commissions, all of that stuff. You can send that to the email as well. They do respond same day. It's usually within an hour or two, as long as you have sent your email before 3 p.m. Central Time. And they are phenomenal. So utilize those. That's an excellent resource as well. And now, I mean, I kind of like to just kind of go through, and then I want to open it up to questions, and I can revisit and go back to different slides if you want. but I love the interacting and the questions. So I want to open up the floor for that.
Can you hear me,
Yeah.
Joanna? Okay.
Uh-huh.
One question is if someone could get the PowerPoint today that you did today sent over because he had to hop off early. And then another question is if you can make additional deposits. So I believe the way the illustration software works is that you're solving to make sure it goes through maturity. I'm guessing they're asking if you can overfund the product.
Okay. So yes, you do have to wait till after your first year though, and you can start changing how much you pay into it. But yes, you can. And that's actually something we've been taking a look at as well. Some of the feedback we've heard from agents, because we really like to hear from you guys, to be honest with you, that's how we continue to get better, is agents have said, I'd like to have a way to quote in the actual illustration. So let's say that $250,000 was $151, but what if they want to pay $200 a month and still have the $250,000? So that's something we're looking into and looking at developing. But as of right now, yes, they can overfund, but they do have to wait for that first 12 months.
Do you know what the loan options are if somebody does, are there preferred loans? Are there variable loans, index loans?
So that, honestly, there's several options. That's going to be more of a conversation to ask with a policyholder service, because it's going to be so specific to the client. And it's so hard to predict that, because let's say you write an 18-year-old and their payment is $20-something a month. I mean, they're not going to grow. You're really not growing that cash value really significantly till about 20 years into a 30-year policy anyway. So it gets customizable, and that's really a question per client with policyholder services once they're ready to do that.
Let's see what else I was going to ask you. I think that's it. I'm not seeing any more questions oh, wait a minute. Does the illustration provide the MEC amount, and if MEC is exceeded, does the client lose their tax benefit? I'm gonna guess that is, we're trying not to MEC the policy.
Right.
But every company has to warn you if something is going to be a modified endowment contract. Illustrations market everywhere, this is MEC status if something had been a MEC, and then all MECs, no matter what, if they exceed that amount, then they lose. The cash value just basically gets treated like an annuity. So if you're under 59.5, that's the 10% penalty, and money goes out of the policy last in, first out instead of first in, first out. I think that's it. Do you have anything else that you wanted to add, Joanna?
No, I mean, I'm so excited to be here and to see you guys again. And I appreciate you having me on here again. And you say you have one who wants the slideshow. I don't know if it'll go through my email, so I just have him get on the Agent Cafe and click on IUL, and he can go to the training video from there.
Oh, perfect. That's better. So that's great.
I'm always afraid when you get into those slideshows, they may not email over. Sometimes things are too big for my email.
Well, again, thank everybody that attended today. I think this is a huge topic that we need to be talking about. I'm old school on the life insurance. I grew up in the business. I'm the fourth generation of life insurance professionals in my family. And I love Americo so much because it has that feel to it. It has that grounding of life insurance and the family ownership, all of that is very attractive, at least to me. I grew up with grandparents and parents that took me in to meet underwriters directly and that type of thing. So this is as close to what you're going to get from any company, I feel like, with Americo. Talk with any of the sales directors. The commissions are really nice for Instant Decision. If you're new into IUL, and this is a great product to get started with. Almost every single company, they'll come up with fancy different indices and things like that have bonuses, multipliers, all that kind of stuff. Almost everybody eventually transitions back to allocating into the S&P 500 anyway, one form of it. So I love the indice options that we have here with Americo. So this is a great way to close out the last quarter of the year. So I'd get real excited with this one. And again, thank you, Joanna, so much. I really appreciate it, and everybody for attending with us today.
Absolutely. And I will see you I'll talk with you this afternoon again.
Yes, if you are still listening, the final expense portfolio is rock solid. It's very awesome too. A lot of people sell final expense for the cheapest option, but when claims time comes around, a lot of people wish they wouldn't have picked the cheapest option. So I'm excited. I'm not saying Americo's not the cheapest or anything like that, but there's definitely other value adds as far as final expense and directing it towards Americo.
Absolutely.
Well,
thank you,
again,
and
thanks,
I will
everybody.
talk to you in a few hours.
All right, sounds good. Bye.
Bye.